I'm Christina Schaefer, social media manager for HAR. We have two video rock stars with us today, Jennifer Wauhob and Claudia Hernandez. They are actually going to be interviewing each other in just a little bit. Jennifer coming at it from a realtor perspective, a team lead perspective, and Claudia coming at it from a producer perspective. So we're excited to hear both sides. As we go through, I will be checking for questions. If you have questions throughout, type them in. If they're related to what the ladies are discussing, I might just kind of pop in with that question. If not, we will make sure to answer all of your questions at the very end. So stay tuned for that at the very end if you don't hear your question answered throughout. As you're typing into the chat, you'll see the option to make your question or comment visible just to panelists or to all attendees. So if it's a question or comment you would like all attendees to see, make sure you select that option so others can see your question or comment as well. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second and we will put their information back up at the end if you're wanting it. But I do want to share just a little bit about these ladies that we have here with us today. Jennifer Wauhob has been servicing the entire Katy and West Houston real estate market for 10 years. She was named a top 20 under 40 rising star in real estate by HAR in 2014. She was named one of 11 realtors to watch in 2017 by the Texas Association of Realtors. She's a 5-star realtor by Texas Magazine in 2016 through 2019. Is a Gold Award recipient for Better Homes and Gardens, ranking in the top 2% of agents in the national brand. She also serves as an advisor of the professional development for Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green, is a certified instructor for Trek. And in addition to guest contributing author for Realtor.com, she's been featured on Inman's Daily Dispatch podcast, the Real Estate Rat Pack, and the Stuart Title radio show. She is now leading a team of 7 who work hard to ensure that their clients have the best buying and selling experience possible. And she is on our executive committee for the HAR board of directors. Claudia is the director of video services for HAR, also known as HAR TV. HAR TV provides innovative video services for the Houston Association of Realtors and its 38,000 members. Over the years, Claudia has produced thousands of videos covering HAR events, tutorials, promotions, and market information in order to keep the membership informed on what matters most. Claudia works closely with thousands of realtors to produce their online video marketing. So welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for taking time for us today.
Good morning. I guess afternoon.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm going to mute myself and let you take the virtual floor.
All right, great. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in today. I'm so excited to interview Jennifer because I know that she's a rock star with video and she's always doing stuff. She's been in the studio before and she's always been a big advocate for video. So one of the first questions I have for her, and hopefully these questions and these answers will really help the rest of you out, is what types of videos have you found effective over the years that you've been doing video? Because you've been doing some form of video for the past 2 to 3 years. And what have you found to be the best type of video?
So I feel like I've tried just about everything. You know, I've tried live, I've tried professionally taped videos, I've tried just, YouTube videos. And to me, I do think they've been effective. It's hard with marketing sometimes to say, yes, I got this client off of this, because marketing is cumulative. So sometimes you might be posting and sharing things and people are paying attention. They may not be taking action right then, but they are watching, and you're kind of in a way building a digital relationship with them, which is one of the unique things about video. I mean, it really is the only medium where you can communicate so much more through video than you can in a text or an email. And people really kind of feel like they get to know you. And so I will say over the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot of video. Our business has grown. So I'm sure that there is a correlation there. And it's just, I mean, I feel like I could sit down right now and have like a cup of coffee with Oprah because I feel like I know her. And the reason I feel like I know her is because I heard her voice, I saw her face. Video makes you familiar with people. And so it is kind of like building rapport and building a relationship. And I think if you do it consistently Even though a lot of people don't like it and it may be uncomfortable at first, over time, it absolutely adds to your business.
Right. And obviously that's great. And I kind of refer to, like you said, Oprah and or the anchors that we see on the news every night. You know, we feel like we know them and we could, if we see them on the street, we're like, hi, but they don't know us, but it's because we've been watching them for years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so then obviously it's been effective. Have there been any videos in the past that you've had a client or maybe a colleague or someone say, I saw your video and then decided to work with you in some way, whether that be a video, you know, a video together or to work with you as a realtor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would say probably we've gotten the most mileage out of what I would call kind of Q&A videos. And when realtors are like, well, I don't know what to talk about in a video, I'm like, well, think of something that a client asked you this week, because we kind of take for granted how much we know. And we assume that everybody knows, you know, pre-approval, that's a basic thing. Everybody knows that. No, if you've never bought a home before, you don't know that. And so I like to use it to share kind of what I know just in little bits. And we've done them in drip campaigns with, you know, when we have leads come in where they get a video with a little tidbit, we post them weekly on our Facebook page. I've sent them out. Sometimes I've done several videos on what to do to get your home ready to sell. Well, if I have a listing appointment scheduled, I will send them those videos ahead of time, you know, and vice versa after an appointment. Sometimes I'll send somebody a follow-up video, like, it was so nice to meet you. So we've gotten a lot of mileage out of the Q&A ones. I think the ones we've gotten the most views out of, excuse me, are lately when COVID happened and we kind of got locked down and we wanted to help support small businesses around us that were really hurting. Mm-hmm. We started doing interviews with them, all on Zoom, all on video. And that helped us not only get in front of our own people and show that, you know, that we're actively supporting the community, but it got us in front of all of their people. So when I'm looking at views, those videos have gotten by far the most views of anything that we've done. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's so many different things you can do with video. I mean, it doesn't have to just be on Facebook. It doesn't have to just be YouTube. It doesn't have to just be professional, you know, when they come in the HAR studio and do like a, you know, a real professional video. To me, I kind of think a mix of all of it is the best way and the most effective way to use it.
Right. And I kind of mentioned in my Member Focus Monday that right now is probably the best time to start because people are more forgiving right now because we know that everybody's at home. We all have the same equipment. You know, no one has a professional studio to go to. So right now is the time to start if you haven't ever, because everybody's going to be okay with the not so great lighting, not so great audio.
If COVID did not make you do video, then I don't know if anything will ever make it.
Exactly.
This is the only way to get in front of people. You know, for the last month and a half, it's been the only way to get in front of people is to be on camera. So I agree with you.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you've been doing them a few times. We've asked you as an HAR volunteer to be on camera as well and promote some of our events or promote some of our, you know, candidates or whatever, what have you on YouTube or on Facebook. So do you enjoy doing video? Is it something you're comfortable with or?
No, I think the biggest hang up for realtors is they don't want to do it because they don't like doing it. They don't like the way they sound. They don't like the way they look. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I get it. We went to real estate. If we wanted to be on camera, we would have chosen another profession. I don't think any of us were taking our test and thinking, boy, I can't wait to make some videos once I get my license. But for me, I'll tell you, what made me start doing it consistently was I actually had to start doing it for my company. We started doing kind of a weekly coaching video. And so I had to do it. There was kind of like a requirement. And so what I did is I said, okay, I have to do this every Monday. After I film my one for my company, I'm going to make myself film one for my business, you know, a consumer facing one. So I forced myself to do it every single week. And, you know, that adds up. Now, over the course of a couple of years, you know, on our YouTube channel, you know, we have dozens and dozens of videos. And I'll tell you, you would think after all that time, like, get better. I mean, I do think you get better at it, but you would start to enjoy it. Not one day still do I wake up and go, I get to make a video today. I still wake up and go, oh, I got to make a video. Let me curl my hair. So, I mean, I just don't think it's ever going to be something that I enjoy. And for most realtors, it may not ever be something that, you know, that you love doing, but it doesn't mean that you should be doing it. Like I said, it is the best way to get in front of clients. And a real estate coach said this once, and it stuck with me. He said, in this business, visibility trumps ability. And it's true. You can be the best realtor, and if people don't know who you are, they're not calling you. They're calling the agent on the shopping cart, and the agent who's mailing to their house, and the agent who's posting on their social media. So that is who the business goes to, or the people that are visible, and video will make you visible. And we all know, I mean, I know you guys have done so many webinars, just the stats on social media, how much more engagement there is when there's video. And I mean, it truly is the best way to get in front of people. And so as good as you are as an agent, unless you are getting out in front of people and making yourself maybe do things that you don't love doing, I mean, you really should be using it.
Yeah, and I usually tell agents, you know, try and act like the camera is a potential client. You know, it's not a lens, there isn't a light there. You're talking to a person, because you're realtors, you're salespeople. You talk to people all the time. So if that helps, you know, change your mindset of, this camera, these lights, I'm recording, you know, think of it as a dollar sign.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And so then what type of video do you think is effective right now that you're seeing, especially since we're all home, whether that be pre-recorded, live? HAR, you know, launched their virtual open house feature on the app a few weeks ago. We've seen a lot of members take advantage of that. What's your take on what the best option would be?
So first of all, just regardless of how you do it, another thing that I'm really big on is like video, it's not self-promote, like it's not for you, you know, it's not like you, like with your team, you know, like try to use it to serve the consumer, use it to be helpful, give them something that's helpful to them. And so what I've seen, I think, like we mentioned before, I think we get the most engagement on our live videos. And then that's also, you mentioned during this time, people are maybe a little more forgiving. I think when you go live, people are also more forgiving because they know that it's live. They know you didn't spend all this time prepping and, you know, getting the lighting just right. You know, you're actually just going live and talking. So when it comes to actually getting in front of the most people, social media and live videos, I think, are probably the best way to go. But we've also used those pre-tape videos, and like I said, those Q&A, because those we can use again and again and again. So we may not share a live video more than the one day that we'll post it the day that we did it. But I did a video, you know, the four steps to get buying a new home. You know, 5 things to do to your home before you hit the market. Here's why you need a pre-approval letter. We have all those saved, and we can keep using those over the course of, you know, year after year. When we get a new client and they ask us a question, I can say, oh, no, I actually did a quick video on that. I'll shoot it over to you, you know, and you can send it via text or via email. So again, I think it's kind of good to do a little bit of everything, but I think live and social media might get you more eyeballs, but then the other ones you can save and you can use those long-term over and over again.
Yeah, there's never
on that. You know what else I like about the pre-taped ones is it makes things not personal. So if I come walk through your house, like on a listing appointment, and your paint needs to be neutralized and your home needs to be decluttered, and I'm saying like you need to clean your air return vents and you need to change out your light bulbs, people can take that personally, you know, like, man, she just came in and ripped our house apart. If I send them a video that I recorded 6 months ago saying, hey, to get your home ready, clean your air return vents, change your light bulbs, start to take down your pictures. It takes all the personal, touch out of it. So then they know, like, oh, she really does say this to every person she meets with. So same thing, if you've got somebody who maybe doesn't want to get a pre-approval letter just yet, and they're kind of dancing around talking to a lender, well, you shoot them a video that you reported 8 months ago saying why a pre-approval letter is important to a seller. You're educating them, and it's not you attacking them in any way. So it makes it not personal. That's another thing I like about the pre-taped videos.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to when you're showing a home, usually the homeowner isn't there and shouldn't be there, because you don't want to see the people walking through the home saying, oh, well, I don't really like these floors, and oh, well, I don't like this. You know, it makes it a little more personal. You want to do those when they're not around. So my last question is, if I'm a realtor, you know, I'm wondering where to start. What do I do? How do I start? What type of video should I start with that is effective for me as a realtor in my business?
So the first thing is just do it. I mean, the hardest part of video is just doing it. And my recommendation, I said earlier, live, I think is a great way to start because you can't take it back. And what I did in the very beginning is don't film something and then watch yourself back, because what you'll do is, I tried to do like a 2-minute video on, I can't even remember the topic now, and then watch it back and was like, oh, wait a second, my hair looks weird. Okay, let me do it again. And then you do it again, and then you watch it back. Wait, okay, I don't like how I said that. Let me do it again. And you end up 2 hours have gone by, and you've made one video. Nobody has time for that. So just start small and be gracious with yourself. Consumers don't expect us to be camera perfect. So live is a great way, because once you do it, it's done, and if you mess up or you say something wrong, you just kind of got to roll with it. It's great to, at the beginning of the video, even say, I don't do a lot of videos, but I just wanted to let you guys know I get this question a lot, so I thought I'd answer it. Prep them in the very beginning. Like, I'm not a professional. I just want to kind of share what I know. And start small. If you're too nervous to post a video on your Facebook page, then start with just texting quick little videos to your clients. And hey, looking forward to coming by, you have a listing appointment coming, and you say, hey, I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys. Or after you meet with a client, sending a follow-up video. So just little individual videos sending out. We did a lot of that when COVID hit too, just sending videos to our clients with me holding a thing with their name, so they knew I made this for you. This isn't, and just saying,
I'm here for you.
How are you? Yeah, I'm just checking on you. We're all trapped inside. This is the only way I can see you face to face right now. So start small if you're nervous about it. And just like anything, I go back now. Sometimes I went back to pull something the other day from a year ago, and I thought, oh, I'll reuse this. And when I watched it, I was like, oh. I've gotten better. When you make yourself do something over and over again, you will get better at it, but you never will unless you're willing to just suck at it for a little bit until you get better.
Right.
And then the last thing I would say is nobody is judging you like you are judging you. I was working with my assistant a month or two ago, and we had our YouTube channel pulled up, so there's all of these thumbnails in my face. And I'm like, man, can you believe how different my hair looks in everyone? And she's like, your hair looks exactly the same.
It looks the same.
Nobody else is scrutinizing you like you are scrutinizing you. So just, put it out there and let it go. Don't stress about it. Don't worry about perfection. And most importantly, just do it. Just do it.
Well, and to that point, think of how far you would have been if you had started this time last year.
Yeah.
If you hadn't kept putting it off and putting it off, now if you put it off another year, you won't make that headway for another year. So just start now. So I'm so glad.
And when you said, picture dollar signs, it really is true. You have to think of the outcome, well, I want to be in front of these people. I want them to feel like they know me and can trust me. I have to, and the only way to get there is to start doing the videos. So you kind of have to start with the end in mind,
Yeah. Have them see your face. They want to meet you. So well, I'm just so glad that you answered all of these questions. For years, I have been preaching to our realtors to do video, any type of video, just do it. And to hear from a realtor perspective.
This is the greatest I told you so ever, Claudia.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's not me telling you, it's somebody else. And you have found it effective. It's helped your business. It's helped your brand. You grow personally just watching yourself from the first time to now. So thank you so much for answering all of those questions for us.
And now it's my turn. Now I get to ask you the questions as somebody who's not a realtor, but who knows about video. And that last thing I just mentioned about having all my thumbnails up on the screen for YouTube.
Yeah.
Why is it when you make a video, the thumbnail is always of your face, it's always the worst possible thumbnail that can show up? How can we fix that?
Because YouTube loves us. So YouTube has an algorithm,
and apparently.
It chooses your thumbnail from the first third, the half, and the last third of the video. So there are ways that you can change the thumbnail. If you, depending on how long you've had your channel, you should be able to change the thumbnail as you should choose what thumbnail you want. And obviously you would want to maybe create that ahead of time as a JPEG. So next Tuesday on my Tuesday tips, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to create a thumbnail that you could use, whether it be on your YouTube video, on your Facebook video, so you're not, you know, starting all weird and you can make it a lot more presentable when you're sharing it everywhere. So tune in next Tuesday for my Tuesday tips on how to create a thumbnail.
I will definitely be watching that, because that's probably one of my worst things, trying to, it's hard enough to make people do it. It's even harder to post it when the picture is of you looking like a monster. So that's good. So what do you see as like a video expert? And you're friends with us on social, you see the stuff that we're doing. What's the biggest mistake that you see most realtors make when they're doing video?
Well, first, not doing one is probably the first mistake. If you don't have one, then that's the first problem. But secondly, I would say lighting is probably number one. I see people do them outside or whether they're inside a home, and you might be able to look at yourself in a mirror or on your phone and think you look okay, but just try and get the best lighting. You don't need professional lighting for that. You can use natural light. You know, stand in front of the window instead of with your back to it. Stand outside kind of with the sun facing you instead of in a shadow. So I would say lighting might be the biggest mistake I see people do. And it's because it's not first nature to everybody to think about what type of lighting I need. You know, our phones do a really good job at taking a photo with bad lighting, but when you're doing video, it can be a little more difficult. So just try and, you know, test it out, stand around wherever you're going to shoot your video so that your lighting is good before you press record.
I remember like when I was growing up and I'd watch Dateline and things like that, and they were interviewing somebody who didn't want their identity known. And so like the light was behind them and their face was all shadow. That's kind of what it's like. Exactly. Right in front of a window.
Right. I would say that, you know, realtors y'all are all doing a great job. The fact that you're even doing video is great. So just keep up the good work, but think about your lighting. You want them to be able to see your face clearly.
Okay. Good tip. Good tip. Okay. Second one, what are the easy, because like I'm busy, you know, I'm selling houses all day. I don't have time to learn like a whole video editing software. And I've even sat down and tried it a couple of times and I get frustrated and I just quit. So what are the best like apps for easy editing, and not just for iPhone? So right, iMovie. I have an Android.
Yeah.
Like for iPhone and Android, what are the best apps?
Yeah. So iMovie for sure is one good if you have an iPhone. But I just did a tutorial earlier this week on editing a video with the app InShot, which is both an Android and an iOS app. It's super inexpensive and very easy to use. My video for a simple editing of you know, a 2-minute video was about 20 minutes, and it's extremely easy. I walk you through the process of clipping the beginning where you're reaching out and, you know, pressing the record button and adding music to the background, adding some text, you know, all those little things, increasing your volume, all that stuff. And especially with InShot, if you do the paid version, you get some stock music, you get some cute little stickers and emojis that you can put up in the video. Very inexpensive. I think it was $35 for a lifetime, but $15 for the year if you just want to try it out and say, well, let me see this video editing, you know, thing that everybody's been talking about. Test it out and see if you like it. It's, you know, it's free also if you want to try the free version, but it's super easy to do.
That's great. I will definitely go download that one. Okay, so one thing that I hear a lot of agents ask me about when I do videos, so maybe you shoot a quick, it was great meeting you, or I'm looking forward to meeting on your phone video, and you want to send it to a client. The biggest issue with sending videos is they're too big, you know, and so what are the best ways to share videos since they're such big files?
So for sure, YouTube would be the best way. I've been at HAR for almost 10 years now, and we have thousands of videos on YouTube. They hold them for you. That way you don't have to worry about keeping them on your computer as well. But it's easy to share a link. YouTube can be viewed on any platform, on any phone, on an iPad, on a laptop, on a cell phone. And it's a space saver. You know, they can click on a link and it'll play the video within the text message. They don't even have to move into the app. So my biggest recommendation for sure for sending, sharing would be YouTube.
Okay, so that means I'm doing that right, because with all these virtual showings, you know, people asking to see homes virtually, that's what I've been doing. And just in case people don't know, like I do have a YouTube channel, you can post a video as unlisted and nobody else can see it. Only the people you share the link with can see it. So if you're doing just an individual house or you want to shoot a video just for one person, if you put it as unlisted, when people go look at your YouTube page, it doesn't come up.
Correct. It won't be able to be searched if someone searches that address or anything. They have to have just that link to view the video.
Yeah, good. So in your experience, is there like an optimal length for video? You know, like what's too short? What's, like, we all have short attention spans, so like what's too long?
Right. So all of that there are many different variables to that. It all depends on the topic, and it also depends on where the video is going to go. So before, it used to be that all videos should be really short. And yes, but the attention span online is it's very short. So I think I read somewhere that it's about 6 seconds. But that has changed a little, and YouTube has 6 seconds, right? YouTube has sort of turned into, you know, a Google search. And people go there to find a solution to a problem, how to change the a tire on my car. So you can't explain that in 6 seconds. So YouTube has kind of established itself as a tutorial, how to, let's do something together, learning platform. So it's okay if your video on YouTube is a little longer. It's okay if your video on Facebook is a little longer as well, because now Facebook and Instagram have stories, and that's where those short videos go. So it really just all depends on the topic. If you're doing an intro video about yourself, say, hi, my name is Claudia, I'm the Director of Video Services at HAR. That should not be longer than a minute. You know, consider that as a commercial that you see on TV. You're just promoting yourself really quickly. You don't have to give your bio. It's just a way to present yourself, kind of like your elevator pitch. So it varies depending on the topic and where the video is going to go.
That's good advice. And Christina, you told me once, tell me if this is true, when you're going live, you said it's best to do it for at least 10 minutes. Is that right?
Yes. Facebook likes it when you are a little longer on the live. You'll find that once you reach about the 3-minute mark, if they're watching, they're going to keep watching. And then also on YouTube, they've kind of changed their platform around too. So you'll see a lot of YouTube channels, when you go look at their videos, you see they're just a little over 10 minutes. And that's because they know that YouTube likes that 10-minute mark. So yeah, 10 minutes is a good time frame to stick to.
10 minutes is a long time. Ever since you told
me that. Very long time.
10 minutes. 10 minutes feels like about half an hour when you're making a video.
Yeah.
But I try to
again, it depends on the topic.
Yeah, it does depend on the topic. But those lives on Facebook, if you're going to go live, I would suggest don't go any shorter than 3 minutes.
Right. That's good to know too.
So you're not gonna go live on Facebook to introduce yourself for 10 minutes,
right?
Because you'll run out of stuff to talk about. But if
Very
it's an
point.
Interview or an open house, then that makes more sense.
And even just piggybacking on what you said, Claudia, just about you can another reason that it's so great is if I typed 1,000-word post about what's going on in the market right now, or what to do to get your home ready to sell, nobody would ever read that. But you can communicate 1,000 words in just a couple of minutes of video. So it's also a great way to get more information across in a digestible way.
Yeah. And we know that people don't read, so they're not going to get the information anyway.
That's true. Realtors don't, that's for sure. Okay, so my last question for you is not as a video producer, but as a consumer, because you're not a realtor, as a consumer, is a bad video or maybe a not great video better than no video at all?
I would say no. I'd rather you have a video than nothing at all, especially right now, since this is sort of the only way of communicating and getting across certain points, better than a text or better than an email. you know, now it's 2020. We've all got great phones. Your phone can shoot a pretty good video. So I don't think the videos can get so bad that they're extremely painful to watch at this point. So today, 2020, I would say that it's better to have a so-so video than no video at all. When I started at HR 10 years ago, I would have said no video at all if you're not going to do a good job. So definitely times have changed, and it's you know, it's a different time, different devices, different technology. So I think so-so video, borderline bad, is better than no video at all.
Great point. I do think times have changed. So if you maybe were thinking about video 4 years ago and just couldn't get yourself to do it, I think now, like you said, people are a lot more accepting, and a lot more people are doing it. And also, if it's that bad, then it's going to go viral and you're going to get a ton of publicity. So
exactly,
I mean, there almost is no bad video to put out.
Hey, any, you know, press is better than no press at all.
I was going to say, I recently saw
that whole visibility thing I was just talking about.
I was going to say, I recently saw a live from the inside of somebody's purse that went live, the phone did, in their purse. And people were watching, and they kept watching, waiting for her to realize that it was live. And she ended up leaving it up because there was all these comments, and she got all these views from it. So hey, people even watch that.
Well, somebody sent me, it was like a virtual showing, like a realtor. He's like walking around and he's outdoors, and he comes around the stairs and just bites it, you know? And I mean, I watched that thing 3 times because it made me laugh.
Right. Yeah. I think the purse one, I'd stick around just to see what she's talking about, see if she's got any gossip or something.
Right. There we go. So the message of today is all visibility is good visibility. There you go.
Right. Especially right now. I mean, you can't get out there to meet with a client. Maybe they're not comfortable meeting in person just yet. So some video is better than no video at all.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, those are all my questions. Christina, do you have questions for us?
So we do have some questions. Marsha Fisk just said earlier, Jennifer, she loves your idea of the pre-tape videos. She thinks that's an excellent idea. Especially since you can recycle and reuse that content, like you were saying. So that's so excellent.
On that note, HAR does have a series called the Consumer Knowledge Series. It is a little older. We did shoot it a while back. A lot of the content is still current though. It's on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/HRTV, and it's about 62 videos covering different things like, what do I bring to the closing table? What's the difference and zoning in different cities, and just stuff like that. If you guys want to use those videos, you're more than welcome to use that content as well.
So people were also asking about the Tuesday tip videos you did, Claudia, and they were asking where to find them. I did also already share those links, but you've been doing those for a few weeks. Can you tell us some of the topics that you covered in those Tuesday tip videos?
Yeah, sure. So you can find them at our YouTube channel. If you're a Platinum member, we've been putting them on Facebook and Platinum. We've been putting them on Instagram. But I've been starting small from when we started the quarantine, which was just how to shoot a video with your phone, no equipment, nothing. And I've moved on to editing your videos on editing apps. And I cover different things from inexpensive equipment that you can use, like a ring light or a small tripod, or you know, an inexpensive mic that you can plug into your phone, to how to get comfortable on camera, to editing your video in iMovie or InShot. Eventually I would like to move on to, you know, more heavy duty equipment like the DSLR camera that you may want to buy for those that want to move on to doing videos at home a little more professionally with some lights and a green screen perhaps. So just stay tuned for those videos as well.
Very good. So you kind of answered this, but if you just want to clarify for Carla, she just asked what kind of equipment is essential to start doing these videos from home. So you mentioned a
lighting for sure. Yeah. So there is one Tuesday Tips video called Inexpensive Equipment to shoot your videos at home, and it's a tripod that was $15, a wired mic that you plug into your phone that was $20, and a ring light that was $10. So lighting for sure, audio for sure, and tripod for sure.
Okay. A few people wanted clarification on the editing apps. I did share that in the chat already, but they had a question. Jim had a question. Can you narrate on those programs? So can you put in captions on those programs?
Yes, you can. So you can record your own audio, you're recording your own video, or you could just do, you know, one of the things that I show in one of the tutorials is, let's say you're walking around a home or you're shooting something outside. You can take out that outdoor audio or that, you know, kind of AC sound and add your own audio in there as well. So,
okay, great question.
I noticed on the virtual open houses, I could hear my heels when we were
right.
doing it, and I watched it back because I'm walking through the house, so you can hear my heels clicking the whole time.
Great question here from Rebecca. How do you get a YouTube channel?
You just sign up for one. If you have a Gmail account, then you already have a YouTube channel. So just through Google, if you already have a Gmail account, or create a new Gmail account, you already have a YouTube channel, and you can go in and customize that, rename it, add some videos, you know, all kinds of stuff.
Or ask your
free,
kid.
So. Or ask your kid.
Also know exactly where to go.
Right.
Very good. Just a comment here from Val. I love Jennifer's coach's advice. Visibility trumps ability. A great takeaway. So thank you so much for that. Another question just came up about equipment for video. So you already answered this, but it sounds like we're trying to almost make it more complicated than it really is. It doesn't take that much, right?
It doesn't, no. And that's why I started that way, is just super simple equipment. Don't make it so complicated, especially if you are just getting started. I'd hate for somebody to invest a lot of money on, you know, expensive tripods. Tripods can go from $15 to $500. So don't get crazy on the equipment. Just start small. And then once you see that you see the effectiveness of the videos, if you're going to make the time to make these, then increase, you know, on the quality of the videos.
And I'll say, just in the 2 years I've been doing it, it's only ever been on my webcam or my phone. I don't have a tripod. I don't have a light.
Yep.
I need to go get a light, apparently. But that's it. So again, just do it. Like, don't worry about, well, I can't do it until I get all this equipment. Although it sounds like we need to stock the HAR Super Center with some ring lights and some cute little tripods.
That was a suggestion after my inexpensive tools video. It was a suggestion to sell those items in the Super Center store. So perhaps that's coming soon.
So another question here. Sorry, just a question about the Theta. It was just a question about the Theta 360 camera.
Are looking for topics and ideas. You know, you mentioned you have the consumer series and all that. Just go, I mean, check out other realtors across the country and what are they talking about? You know, just because they talked about, you know, what the steps to buying a home doesn't mean you can't talk about the same thing in your voice.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for, I mean, go to mine. Mine's Katie Good Life. You're welcome to go copy anything that's on there, you know, just because that's another big hindrance I hear is people say, well, I don't know what to talk about, and just content, right? You know, they don't know what to create. So sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're fine. A good rule of thumb too, as far as content on these, if more than one client asked you a question, it's content.
Yep.
So if they've asked you anything, how do I get pre-approved? Or did this neighborhood flood during Hurricane Harvey? You know, that is content because more than one person asked.
Yeah, and you want to be the ambassador. If they're asking questions, you want to have those answers. So you want them to turn to you, not somewhere else, for those answers. So give it to them before they even ask.
Yeah, I remember we were at, I think it was Katie Kosov once was speaking at one of the events, and she was saying it's a way to build trust with people that you've never even met. And you are building their trust when you're showing that you know all this stuff and you're sharing with it, then you become somebody that they trust when it comes to real estate. And it could be people you have never met once in your entire life, or it could be people that maybe you know, but you know them from like through your kids' soccer team. So that's how they know you. Right. This lets you build trust now as a real estate expert too. So now they also go, oh yeah. And Jennifer also seems like she knows what she's talking about, you know, when it comes to real estate and Katie. So if I have a question, I'm going to go ask her instead of just thinking, oh, that's my kid's friend's mom, you know? So you can build trust by being the expert.
There was a question about the Theta 360 camera. If we could just clarify what exactly is that used for?
for 360 photos. And I know it can be a little confusing because we kind of started selling the camera and put out the virtual open house feature on the HR app at the same time. So those are two separate things. You are conducting the virtual open house with your phone, doing it live through the app, and the Theta 360 camera is to take 360 photos of your listing. So the 360 photos are the ones that you would click on and you can look around 360. You walk into a home, you can look around the living room, the bedroom, wherever. So those are two separate things. The Theta is specific for 360 photos.
And we didn't talk a ton about the virtual open houses, but I mean, I think that's something, even though now we are starting to again see in-person open houses come back, the virtual open houses are here to stay. I mean, people are going to you know, you can watch them anytime. You don't have to just be at that house during that, you know, Sunday 2 to 4 window. And so you might as well get comfortable with it, because probably every seller you have from now on is going to expect you not only to hold in-person open houses, but also to do a virtual open house. So I think the consumer expectation is going to include more video going forward too. So if you were having trouble doing it just for marketing yourself, now you're probably going to have to start doing it because your clients are going to start expecting it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't see any other questions at this time. Do you ladies have anything else you want to share?
Just do it.
We're stealing Nike's slogan for
yes,
theme of
do the
theme of
video.
this webinar is just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Send them to us. We'll like and comment on them.
Right. Yeah.
Talk about how
Exactly.
great you did.
Yes. I've put out my information before when I did Member Focus Monday. My email is video@hr.com. If you have questions about anything video, whether that be equipment, scripting, you know, software, just let me know and I can answer you.
Excellent. And I'm just typing in, somebody's asking about information about virtual open houses. Just typing in the link where we do have some training guides and tutorial videos and things like that for anybody wanting to get started with the virtual open houses. So great. Thank you ladies so much for all the information you shared today. That was really fun hearing the two of you go back and forth about things that you've learned over the years with video. And again, thank you. So don't forget, we do have more of these virtual events scheduled for the rest of the month. We have one tomorrow and we have some coming next week as well. Go to har.com/webinars to sign up for those. And also, again, we did record this and the recording will be sent to all of you after we are done here. So be on the lookout for that as well. If you missed the beginning or you want to share it with somebody else, you're welcome to do so. So again, har.com/webinars to sign up for any future virtual events. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.